Hello, mid-August 2021. Here we are, still on planet Earth, still traveling around the sun, and observing the other planets as they appear to travel around us through the zodiac. Pluto is traveling along in Capricorn, late Capricorn, where it's been since 2008. Jupiter and Saturn entered Aquarius in January of 2021. Jupiter quickly went through Aquarius and entered Pisces in May this year, and just recently retrograded back at the end of July into Aquarius. So Jupiter and Saturn are both retrograding through Aquarius right now, and Neptune is in Pisces, where it has been since 2012. Next year, at the beginning of the year, at the very tail end of this year, at the beginning of January, Jupiter will re-enter Pisces. It will travel through the sign of Pisces very rapidly by May of 2022. It'll be in Aries. But while it's traveling through Pisces, it will enlarge this whole experience of Neptune being in Pisces. Neptune has been in Pisces again since 2012. We have seen during that period an upswing in measles and in tuberculosis around the world. We had the SARS virus, that epidemic, and now, of course, we're having the coronavirus. When Jupiter returns to Pisces at the beginning of this year, coming up, and starts its journey through Pisces, we will continue to see waves of this virus and the variants through this whole period. But Neptune will be in Pisces till 2025, and Jupiter is going to rapidly go through. So I expect to see a large increase, waves of this experience connected to the virus and all of the health systems that are having challenges because of it, as well as we humans. Indeed, we humans. Pisces is a dual sign. It has two sides, two faces, and so does the planet Neptune. And so does the 12th house, for that matter. So all of these Pisces things are going to be activated while Jupiter travels through Pisces in a big way. And we're already dealing with this Neptunian energy being in Pisces now for the last few years. The two sides, the two faces of Pisces. One side we have spirit and faith and hope. We have empathy and kindness, optimism. Also photography and illusion and theater and videos, movies. These are all part of Neptune, Neptunian things. Health systems. Music. Music. This is a Neptunian thing. Water, all liquids. And the positive side of vaccinations on the health system. The other side of Pisces and Neptune is confusion, lack of clarity, and illusion, and fantasy, and drugs and alcohol, and toxins, and poisons, and smog, and fraudulent behavior like scamming, disappointment, disillusionment, discouragement. These are also Neptunian things and Piscean things. It's the other side of this energy. Fossil fuels, the health systems again, and health problems. These are Neptunian things. Floods, water in its beneficial form and when it becomes a challenging thing in our lives. Lack of it. Polluted. Too much of it. Issues around water. Again, we can expect a lot more of this as long as Neptune is in Pisces, and it's going to be there till 2025. But this increased wave of activity the first 6 months of 2022 should be and would be quite noticeable, with Jupiter also in Pisces especially when these two become conjunct in April of 2022. Very rare. Jupiter and Neptune have not been in Pisces together since 1856, conjunct, right beside each other, on top of the same spot in the zodiac, as it were. This conjunction that occurs in April next year, again, hasn't occurred since 1856, and that year, some interesting things went down. Remember that there is a repeating theme usually with these larger and relatively rare conjunctions and configurations. And when Neptune and Jupiter were in Pisces last, in the mid-1500s, it was just pre-Civil War in the US of A. And one of the things that happened that year, the blues was started. It began its origins there. The blues, as far as music is concerned. But politically, Senator Brooks beat Senator Sumner with a cane till he was unconscious in the Senate chambers that year. So the U.S. elections might get rather heated next year if this pattern repeats. Pasteurization just began in 1856. This is where pasteurization of milk started. It's also a point in the news at that year, a big deal that year, was that John Brown and his compatriots, shall we say, killed 5 pro-slavery people, which of course made the headlines. 1856 was an interesting time, again pre-Civil War. Presumably and hopefully the Americans are wise enough not to have a second Civil War, although it's rather interesting that the same area of the country is full of unrest that was happening last time. At any rate, we'll see what happens with music. We may see some new genres with music evolve out of this next year when Jupiter and Neptune are conjunct, just like we saw in 1856. The point of looking at this video today and thinking about the duality and the two faces of Pisces and Neptune is that while all this energy is manifesting in our lives, it's especially important to be conscious of which side of this Neptunian energy you are behaving or functioning in. Cultivating optimism and positivity and empathy, which again is a Neptunian thing, while Neptune is in Pisces, helps use that energy up that otherwise might show up as your own health issues. The temptation to overindulge in alcohol and drugs and escape this crazy world and what's going on in it right now. Or watch a great deal of movies. This is another potential escapism attitude thing going on naturally. But be conscious of your choices and be conscious of the energy that's manifesting at this point in time and that will continue to manifest, especially as Jupiter moves through Pisces and joins Neptune until it gets out of that sign into Aries next May. Hopefully then we'll see a whole shift again where this energy lessens in importance in our world. Take care, stay safe, and stay patient.